I know I said this was a top 4 list, but I'm going to give you a bonus tip, rookie mistake to avoid, number 5, and this one is specific to Minnesota home buyers. All right, welcome back, guys. It's Austin Mamridis, your Minnesota moving guide for all things to consider when making Minnesota your new home. In today's video, we're going to be going over what every buyer truly needs to know, which is 4 rookie mistakes you need to avoid if you're thinking about purchasing a home in Minnesota. And before I get into this list, I just want to ask that if you guys get any value or enjoy this video at all, please like, comment, and subscribe. All of that really motivates me to continue to make your life easier by putting out good content. So without further ado, let's just get into number 1. Number 1 rookie mistake to avoid when buying your first home is do not trust Zillow. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to fully toss Zillow under the bus. There are pros and cons of it, and I will say from a web design perspective, they make it super easy to scroll through and look at homes. But it can be very misleading because monthly payment amounts and even the status of homes are oftentimes incorrect. Again, Zillow is a paid traffic site. They make money off monetizing your attention and your clicks. So of course, if a house is super cute and priced very attractively, they're going to leave it up on their website for a couple days, even though it's been taken under contract by a buyer's offer. On top of that, they also direct first-time home buyers to reach out to an agent and set up a showing. Now, I'm not knocking agents who pay to be on Zillow's preferred agent list. I'm just saying I'd rather earn your guys' trust as consumers through pure value rather than buying your trust through Zillow. So moving right into number 2. Second rookie mistake to avoid is wanting to tour homes before having a true buyer's consult with your real estate agent. Trust me, I've seen this on a personal level where buyers who choose to skip the buyer consult and go straight into showings actually end up making their process 3 to 4 months when looking to pin down a house because they didn't get crystal clear on their criteria up front. On top of that, it's very important that you're not leading yourself down the wrong path, as you could be walking through homes that you can't even afford. Or on the flip side of that coin, you could be walking through homes that you are well overqualified for that maybe aren't checking all the boxes for you and your family. On top of that, as you've probably already seen in the headlines and the news everywhere, the market is really tricky as of 2021 through right now at the time of this recording in 2023. With that said, it's extremely important for you to set proper expectations for how quickly things move, how well your ducks need to be in a row, and what to expect during the process. And my final thing I'll touch on for the consult is we are area experts. Tell us what you like to do. Tell us your day-to-day. What do you do for fun? We can help get you into the right area to check all those boxes and hit all those goals so you actually have a high quality of life in your new home. Moving on to number 3, and this might seem like a novice mistake, but trust me, I see this all the time, especially from first-time home buyers, is do not trust the numbers that you see online or on HGTV. And when I'm talking about numbers, I'm not talking about purchase price. I'm talking about renovations, cost of selling, and all the things in between. A lot of times on those home renovation shows, they like to have a lot of fun putting the numbers on the screen. Like we bought it for $100K, we renovated the kitchen and bathrooms for $20, and then we sold it for an $80K profit. So if that's you and you're thinking about being an investor or you just want to add some equity to your home that you live in, I would recommend that you do not look at those numbers. And it can honestly be a better thing as well. There's a lot of people who come to me and say, but I saw on HGTV that a kitchen costs $40,000. But in reality, I know a guy here in Minnesota who could do it for $25,000. So that hyperlocal knowledge matters even when looking at things like renovation budgets, etc. And just as a last point on that, when HGTV posts their amazing profits that they make as investors, just know that they have incredibly big budgets and they're able to find extremely good deals that even I, as a seasoned real estate agent, probably couldn't scrape up. Moving on to number 4, try not to get physically or emotionally attached to a home without at least bringing it to me and talking to an agent. Reason being for that is that a lot of times there's subtle nuances about a house, especially here in Minnesota, that really affect your enjoyment of it. I'll give you an example. Sometimes people will send me a house that they really love, and they won't notice that it doesn't have central air conditioning and central heat, and it's got baseboard heat or radiators, for example. In Minnesota, we're extremely cold, and that forced air is a major thing. And you see that even on properties being extremely cheap for the state of their condition, right? So that local understanding and attention to details from an industry professional goes a very long way and will keep you from getting heartbroken. On top of that, I do get a lot of buyers who send me Zillow links to places, and to play into number one, don't trust Zillow. A lot of times they leave statuses as active even when they've been taken under contract. So I'm just trying to set you up to not be sad and sulking when this house is actually gone. Lastly, I've seen a lot of homes that look very, very good on paper, sometimes even flips, for example, but then we get under contract and we get to the inspection period, which is probably the most crucial of this entire home buying process. And a lot of times when you pull back the layers, we don't love what we see, and that can be extremely hard on buyers who were once in love with this property and 3 days later realize that this place is just a pig with lipstick. I know I said this was a top 4 list, but I'm going to give you a bonus tip, rookie mistake to avoid, number 5, and this one is specific to Minnesota home buyers. Tip number 5 is going to be get a radon inspection. So during your home inspection, it usually lasts anywhere from 3 to 10 days. You have your due diligence period on the property to make sure that it's not a major disaster, right? And that you can enjoy the home. So during this period, you can pay an extra $120 to $175 to have a radon testing system put in the basement to make sure that there is no radon levels. Now, what is radon? Well, if you're not from Minnesota, radon is a natural occurring gas that comes up from the soil, usually through a basement drain tile or a basement vent, something like that. But if the radon levels are higher than recommended, it can actually prove to be damaging to kids, especially, or old people's lungs over the course of 5, 7, 10 years, depending on how high the levels are. Like I said, to have it added to your inspection might cost $150, and a radon mitigation system in the event that radon is there is only about $1,500 to have it installed here in Minnesota. I would say that is a very, very well worth investment, being that we're talking about $150 to make sure that your lungs are intact. No brainer, definitely need to have it done. So that's going to do it for our list of rookie mistakes that I see all the time that I'm hoping that you guys can avoid on your first experience when buying a home in Minnesota. So if you have any more questions about the home buying process or worried about making any of these rookie mistakes or others that you hear about, please reach out. My phone number's in my YouTube banner. My Instagram's in my YouTube banner. Reach out with your specific questions, and I'm here to ensure that you won't make any of those mistakes when buying your home in Minnesota. Hope you guys got as much enjoyment and entertainment out of this video as possible. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.